Guys, I wanted to give you a little update from my disastrous last video. So everybody who didn't see it will not understand this one. So first things first, I appreciate you so much and your prayers and your kind words and everything. I collected a little bit myself, so I can tell you just what happened after I posted my video. I I was having a panic attack. I couldn't breathe. I called my doctor. I told her I cannot come. I cannot make this decision right now. I'm not ready. And she said, no problem. You can call me later and you can come, in a few hours as well. I said, no, you don't understand. I'm having a panic attack. I cannot come. I'm really not ready to make this life-changing decision right now. And she said, you know what? Call me when you're ready. I just cried. I just cried all day. I was just panicking. At some points I did read your comments, and I was so thankful for your prayers and these kind of things. So it really helps. It really helps. It really helps. Because only my mom and my son knows about this channel. Ivy Wolf is an artist name, and I do share my personal life with people surrounding me, and they know what I'm having and what's going on, because they have to work with me, and most of the time I was in a hospital, so they need to know. But I don't share it this way. I always share it with a little bit of more, like you used. Everybody who knows me, because I post every day now for 4 days, knows that I'm a more joyful, fun, light person and have this kind of personality, and that's what I'm sharing. And when I say, I was always in a wheelchair and couldn't walk, just having this stick to walk and rely on, sitting all the time, and couldn't walk and couldn't think, couldn't move my hands, was in constant pain. It was a lot. It was just very a lot. And I'm joking around that it doesn't matter, even if I spend the rest of my life then in a wheelchair and these kind of things. I will make it a Ferrari, and you can put some cool stickers on it, and I'm gonna be faster than your BMW then outside. That's my kind of personality, that I'm then joking around. But very, very few people see me like you saw me, to be honest. But I do have the feeling that sometimes we do feel alone with our struggles, and do think that everything is always joyful and fun, but behind the scenes can be a hardcore darkness sometimes, and that was my dark moment in this situation. So I postponed the decision. I cannot make it. Of course, I do think the meds will help. Of course, I do think that this is the right choice to go. I don't think that just changing my life, it will just help that right now, because it is a very time restrictive problem, and I have to choose in the next few months. So I cannot wait until carnivore and the life I'm going is healing me. I did the mistake a few years ago. I thought that if I switch my life and do the right things and do the right, I cut out sugar then, and I was so good. 8 months I was doing constantly sport at the time. I was feeling like superwoman. I was unbreakable, and I thought, I'm doing the right thing. I'm so happy that I didn't choose the meds then. I was so convinced, so full of myself, so perfect. Everything I did was perfect, all the sport, all the food. I did the right things. And then, something in life just happens, and one thing after another and after another, and just things change, your life changes. You make adjustments, and they go sometimes to, again, other path. And then I started having a more unhealthy lifestyle, because I was just surrounded by people who had this lifestyle. And then it started to getting a little bit more tough and rough, and then the seizures started again. So do I think that food, stress, and all these kind of things do have the most impact on our health? Yes. Do I think that carnivore can heal autoimmune diseases and these kind of things? Yes. But I don't think that this will happen in a few weeks, months, years. I think we took now, for me, it was 34 years where I had sugar and bullshit, stress, and 24/7 working and being into constant shit. It takes 34 years to make it up and to make you feel good. Let's even make it a half, let's make it 15 years. It will take me 15 years, but it can be too late then, because my illness is progressing rapidly. And so what to do? I could take the meds and then just keep on going like I do, and then at some point I can get off the meds. That would be the best case scenario. That would be the best case. But the worst case scenario is I do that. I do decide to go with the meds, and they bring me the side effects that I saw now in a lot of the studies from the medication, and a lot of the people who are using it. I read a lot of forums and experiences and so on, and a lot of them do have tumors, a lot of them, and breast cancer. And that's not something I want in my life, to be in constant fear that the medication will add something to the thing I'm already struggling with. So that's the problem. That's the issue I have. Do I believe in school medicine sometimes helping with stuff? Yes. Do I think that, especially when you have some major issues in the moment, that the right thing to do is to have something, medicine based? Yes. Because healing with food, sport, stress levels, and these kind of things, changing your life, takes years and years and years. And one thing I can really tell you from my own experience, it can also, when you're perfect, doing everything perfect, at some point in your life, something can always happen and just bring you into a dark place. And then everything is starting over. That's why this decision is not just easily, said. And I don't like people who just say, you have to do this and this and this and this. And no, because everybody's story is very complicated, and they have their own journeys and experiences, and they know themselves better than everybody else and what they're capable of and what not right in the moment. So what I can tell you, though, from today, even if I postpone the decision, is I was getting into this hole again, into this depression hole. I was just feeling awful, and the only thing that I wanted to do is just, close all the windows and everything, and just, watch something, just keep my mind occupied. I even, tried just to read some things, about carnivore and some macros, and just watch recipes and these kind of things, just to keep me occupied and attract my macros, just to see if I'm getting to this 80-20% and how I can get there. And I can tell you one thing. Somebody sent me the Budapest clinic, and two people actually. So thank you, Mark, also for that documentation. And the thing is, most of the approaches, there are so many different kind of things. Take more vitamin D, and there are some strategies in this kind of direction. There are some omega-3 kind of directions to go there even. So there are so many different kind of options to go. But basically 80-20, 80% fat, 20% protein seemed the best approach for most of the autoimmune diseases. So that's what I wanted to come to the point where I get this 80-20. I wanted to see if I'm already there yet. And that was a good thing. Honestly, it was a very good thing, because when I'm this depressed and this down and this happens in my life, I would not be able to maintain anything. I would just be depressed, stay at home, watch Netflix, eat cookies, eat popcorn, eat all the crappy things. I will feel good maybe an hour, and then I would feel awful. And that would be a circle, because next day I will also feel awful and I will need more sugar and these kind of things. So I was sitting there, occupying my mind and tracking the calories and macros and these kind of things. And then I realized, what should I do? I am constantly now hungry, because these kind of depressions make me just hungry. I wanted to eat all day long. It's just keeping my hands occupied and my mind, and I just want to feel like full. I just want to explode. It's just this kind of feeling. And I was the only day that I really was smart. Honestly, I really can tell this was the only day that I was smart. And I was like, what do I have at home? And I didn't have anything at home besides ground beef and some goat cheese, some light goat cheese, and some egg yolks and butter, and the ribeye fat. And I did have a rump steak. So I did eat constantly for 3-4 hours. I was just eating until I was so full I thought I would just puke, and then suddenly after 10 minutes I was starting again with cravings, and then I ate more of that. I did eat more ground beef with butter and some goat cheese. It was 50 grams of goat cheese, and it was 300 grams of ground beef. It was 300 grams of a rump steak, and it was a handful of the ribeye fat, and it was almost 100 grams of butter. So I was at 70% fat. And suddenly I felt better. Suddenly, I swear to you, I was like, what is happening? What is happening? My mood was lightening up. I was more focused. I didn't want to sit in the dark. I started, putting my things up to put the light in. I went down, said hi to my son. He was at my mom's, and we're talking, and I'm now having this kind of motivation and energy. So there is something true to this whole carnivore story, and I'm damn fucking living proof for that. So even in your darkest moment, if this can suddenly make you feel better, not worse, better, your mood, your energy is suddenly changing and switching, even in that dark hour I had, there must be something, there must be something true to all of this, even you knowing that. But that will, I think, show you some proof, because it was just unbelievable. It was immediate after I was full, after I had the feeling I'm full. And so I just wanted to thank you for all your comments, and I wanted to tell you that I read them all. I'm just not able to respond and answer your questions and things, because I'm just overwhelmed with everything and the informations. And I know some of you like to send me stuff and help me, but I do struggle with that since 2019, and I have a lot of people surrounding me, doctors, shamans, healing people. You have no idea how much time and energy and people and money we spent on my health, and we tried everything you can imagine. Basically, we tried, besides carnivore right now. So everything there is outside, we tried. And I'm very familiar with a lot of things, and I talked with a lot of people who have. And the problem is with my illness is that this is so different. Every person is so different. It's just not, some kind of, yes, you have this, then you will take this, and then you feel good, or you take another medication, and everybody's having the same symptoms. It's basically, you can imagine yourself like this corona bullshit, when Some people didn't have anything, and some died from it. And that's basically what this is. You never know how a person reacts to this, and everybody is different. Everybody has a different story, and everybody's body is different reacting to this bullshit. That's why they have no clue how to heal it. They have no clue what to do. They have no clue where it's coming from. They have so many theories, and nothing is proven. So that's what I can tell you, and I have too much information, too much of everything, and I'm just in the position right now where I just want to have peace. I want to postpone my decision for the medication, and I just want to take my time, research the medications better, really, and collect all the data and show it to my doctor, and then talk with her about everything I read then, and you know, and really be educated and informed about it. And anything else I just cannot handle. I don't want to talk to any new doctors. You have no idea. You have no idea what I went through, and I was 200 doctors at least. it's just insane. And so many people I talk to, and everybody's story is so different. They're having the same bullshit like I am, but everybody is different. Some of them are just doing so perfect and everything is fine, and they think, you know, they're like Wonder Woman. And you know what? That's the problem. I thought I'm Wonder Woman at some point, because this shit comes and goes, and that's the problem. It comes and goes in a very hard way, and nobody knows. And I cannot say in 1 year or 10 years without anything that I'm now healed and everything is fine, because after 10 years you suddenly can have the worst seizure and episodes, or however you call it, and then you will just end up in a wheelchair and completely crippled, and that's it. That's then what you're dealing with. That's why nobody can tell me, you know, but he did this and he's not feeling great, and he did this and now he's feeling. Of course they're feeling great. I did feel great. I stopped eating sugar and I felt like Superwoman. It happens, yes, but that's not how healing looks like with this bullshit. So yeah, that's basically it. And I wanna, you know, put my crown left and right. I would love to start just making jokes again and just forget about this shit for a few weeks. I will go camping next week with my son and just, you know, free my mind and just don't think about anything. And I will just like to do that's something that's fun and occupy me, and just, you know, I don't have to think about it. So you can tell me a joke. How about that? I know it's morbid. It's a, you know, life or crippled situation, but I would love to hear a joke. I would love to hear a joke. So yeah. I mean it. Tell me something funny, or tell me a funny story that happens in your life. That will help me. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't want to talk about my MS anymore right now. At that point, I just want to do something fun. Okay, can we do that? It will help. So thank you for being here, and I will see you tomorrow. I promise.